Hey everyone, today I'd like to talk to you about a powerful tool that we recommend using to level up your sales and operations planning process, also known as S&OP. Let me start by saying though that when I use the word tool, I'm not talking about a technology solution. I'm talking about a way to get clarity on what is happening in your business. This means answering the questions of whether or not our results match our plan, determining if our plans are aligned across the organization, and providing clear accountability for your plans and their performance. In short, clarity on where we're at, clarity on where we want to go, and then the ability to set, measure, and manage the plan to get there. Wow, I mean, that sounds like a lot, but if you're interested, listen on. It starts with the right data at the right level of granularity. Without the right view of the data, there will be a disconnect between your strategic plan and execution. This could result in poor on-time delivery, overstocking, stockouts, excessive planned downtime, and even poor customer service. Finding that right level of granularity is critical to managing these strategic buffers in your business, and you need to know what levers to pull and when to manage the business. And that's where the tool, the 5-section sheet, comes in. The 5-section sheet is a purpose-built S&OP tool that cuts through the noise and gets to the story of your business. It's made of, well, you guessed it, 5 sections. You have your bookings, which are the orders you expect to take, your shipments, which is the orders you expect to ship. You have your backlog, which is your open orders, aged by promise date. You have supply, which is your build or receipt plan. And finally, you have your inventory. Those are the 5 sections. Having visibility of these 5 sections at the right level of granularity is crucial to drive accountability and drive decision making. Really, to manage your business. To be clear, the 5-section sheet will not solve your planning problems, but it will make it impossible for you to hide from any of the issues that are there. Let me break down how this works. So the first thing that the 5-section sheet does is it helps to validate the numbers. This step is crucial because ensuring that you have accurate data means that you're making decisions based on data that you trust. To validate your backlog or your current open orders, you start by taking your opening backlog, adding the bookings, and then subtracting the shipments for the period. For example, if your June closing backlog was 190 units, which really is the starting backlog for the next month for July, and your July bookings were 420, and your July shipments were 360 units, you would expect the closing backlog to be 250 units. If the number does not follow this logic, it's an indication that something is missing or unaccounted for in your current process. Similarly, you need to validate your inventory numbers. Start with the previous month's closing inventory and the production for the current period, and then subtract the shipments. If your June closing inventory was 100 units and production for July was 310 units and shipments were 360 units, your ending inventory should be 50 units. Ensuring the numbers from your system match this calculation helps maintain the integrity and avoids potential miscommunication within your planning process. Next, the 5-section sheet checks last month's performance against the plan. This is where you compare your actual results with what happened for that period. For example, if your bookings were planned at 410 units but actually came in at 420 units, there's a 10-unit variance. This isn't really a significant difference. But now let's take a look at our shipments. We want to make sure that our shipments are also aligned with the plan. In this case, if the shipments were planned at 420 units but were only 360 units, this is a significant difference, which we'll want to understand why this happened. We have to consider what's the potential impact of this on your backlog and whether lead times need to be adjusted because of the 60 units that we were not able to ship out. The 5-section sheet also tracks changes to the future plan. By having last month's plan and this month's plan, we can compare our previous S&OP to the current one and see what adjustments have been made for future months. For example, Our bookings for September have been revised from 420 units to 540 units. This is pretty significant. It suggests that our demand expectations are being adjusted. This adjustment is also reflected in our shipping plan, where we've increased our August shipments from 430 to 470, and our September shipments from 430 to 520. It's essential that we align our production and inventory plan to these changes. Significant changes like this in our demand in the next 2 months are very hard for the organization to respond. That means there's significant risk in the plan, and we need to consider whether we can actually take on this risk, or what will the impact be ultimately on what our shipping plan is. Next, you want to find out what is the story behind the numbers. And this really involves understanding the broader picture and identifying patterns. If we look back over the last 2 months, production has been below plan. What's going on that's causing this to happen? We now have a plan to build 540 in the month of August. This is significantly more than what we produced in the last 2 months. What's changed for us to get to that number? And demand appears to be up at the same time. We have a challenge here in that production hasn't been meeting its numbers and demand is also increasing. Getting insights like this before they escalate and being able to respond to them is very important. For instance, if we're seeing service levels that are going down due to increased backlog and low inventory, it might be time to adjust our production strategy or our inventory levels. Understanding how the key strategic buffers of inventory, backlog, and lead time affect your business puts you in the driver's seat and allows you to make these strategic decisions rather than fighting the fires day to day. The 5-section sheet also establishes clear accountability. Shared accountability leads to lack of accountability. The demand plan is broken between bookings and shipments. Sales is accountable for bookings and the unconstrained shipping plan. This answers the what can we sell questions. Operations is responsible for supply. What can we build? The final shipping plan is an agreed on outcome of the process. It's driven by the demand and constrained by the supply. Capability, lead times, and planned inventory levels are all strategic levers that we set as part of the process. And the team, through the process, is accountable for setting and monitoring these buffers. Finally, the 5-section sheet helps you ask the hard question. To sales, we might ask, are we underestimating bookings? If so, is the plan too pessimistic? And what potential upside should we consider? To production, what is it going to take for us to reduce our backlog to our target levels? The other question there is what has been happening over the last couple months because we've missed our production plan. If bookings increase again next month, how quickly can we adjust production? Understanding these aspects will help you make informed decisions and keep your S&OP process on track. By using the 5-section sheet to analyze the data, find the underlying story, and ask the right questions, you'll be better equipped to make strategic decisions, whether you need to adjust production levels, manage inventory more effectively, or align with shifting demand. This tool provides the insights you need to navigate these challenges. If you're looking to improve your S&OP process and get a clearer view of your data, the 5-section sheet is definitely worth exploring. It helps you validate the numbers, review performance, anticipate changes, and make better decisions. If you're interested in learning how to assemble this view for your business, our book, Sales and Operations Planning, How to Run an S&OP Process Everyone Understands, has step-by-step instructions for building your own 5-section sheet, along with instructions on how to run an effective S&OP process. Purchase your copy today from dbmsys.com. Just follow the link in the video description. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching today's video. Subscribe to our channel for more on implementing S&OP. You can learn more about how DBM can take your process to the next level by visiting our website, www.dbmsys.com. Thank you and take care.